about 7 major cases. In fact, one to me boy be a friend and the Usugalam say a plea bargaining of 2 billion. That is 200,000 Ghana cedis. There are some crimes are kokwa. The prosecution adding. Mama clear example. National security asema ye koyera kwamna du bon he. Senya Mildred ne be kasa case na adding. What you say? It's no sense he could do baby na prosecutors na sha because I think over the weekend we share Tuesday is Ankoma and he was a firm believer. Edin say the evidence to prove or getting a friend organized crime.
He said if there is no evidence, then there is no case.
No, and there's no evidence, no case. It's not as simple as that. The reason is that you can see culpability, but in law you have to prove beyond reasonable doubt. So if you are sure, say, oh, nina so kakrebi, now bet me that I subscribe to it. Dance any panel kokra. So let me prove it. In murder, you need to prove with a body.
Okay.
You need to prove with them. They cannot be bodies. So you can go into a plea bargaining and get some reprieve.
But let me ask a question. Siaka say obi eye corrupt.
Yeah.
My call for the plea bargaining say yen scrapping say it gives the person opportunity. Say ABS can we be utria what it prescribed in the plea bargaining. Say any panel. What happens next?
No, but you see
what happens next?
No, I'm coming on. The fundamental thing is that the plea bargaining is not between the prosecutor and the accused. The court must approve it. So the plea bargaining is also recognized in our judicial system. 2, and I make us a copy. So be a US 100 million. To prove it or not is difficult. So if we can prove near be okay, over 20 years. What you have to say, and first and foremost, for you to do a plea bargain, you must admit crime or guilt. So if you admit guilt, our physical say you have 50 million, but maybe say no here.
But admitting say what the boneno and no cry a clear evidence.
No, I'm coming. That's what I'm saying. That plea bargaining means that you admit the crime. But I'm saying that a prosecutor will only go into plea bargaining because they know that they cannot meet all the ingredients of crime. For example, if you want to prove crime, there are ingredients under the criminal law that you must prove. If you want to prove murder, there are ingredients. If you want to prove fraud, rape, there are ingredients that you need to prove under these laws. And therefore, if one of these ingredients are not proven, but you think you have a tight case and you can also do a bit of plea bargaining to get some money, maybe say that is a bit okay. And in fact,
but my question is, before you continue, my question is, after sending Panabetria part of the money, what next?
And I make us say
because what we realize is that yes, why plea bargaining in case no cry right? We just threw it under the
it depends. So that's what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying say Sikano Awariano. Be 1 billion. Nipana between 500,000 and 600,000. Then we threw the case under the carpet.
It's not always the case.
No, some of the cases. Why? Which is evident. I mean, a doctor Abe cancer ask me. And it's clear. Say they do it. Even if it's one case, it's a case study. And Nipana betria, na 1 million, maybe betria 600,000. You threw under the carpet. My point is that is it not influencing corruption? Say, Obia be feel say okay. Say mitimi ria, ebia mitibe ye. Na me ko plea bargainia. Yati asese utua bi. Na you understand? Unlike first, every court bet me show say the way we are the now you sound so more them.
But in the 8 years, what did the state do with the Unibank case? You recover saying
because we didn't even push
exactly the point I'm making.
And it's the institutional error.
Allow me. You make can say 8 years of the Unibank case. How much did you recover? Zero. Because I'm telling you that when you ask any criminal prosecuting lawyer, organized crime is difficult because it's sophisticated. So if we can make some gains out of a plea bargaining, it makes sense. Let me give you an example. Auto Force in Big C contract, Richard Jakwa issue. You got 2 ambulance. I think 1.3 million euros then. Ambulance by a fried rice machines. Yet be friend ambulance. The case goes to court and Big C no intermediary they say, some ambulance in your family na me metuya. For me, it is better to take the money than to say our prosecute Jakwa ko jailer. What happens? No, I'm coming. At force in Kojela, what happens? So I'm saying that depending on the individual cases, and the circumstances of the case, and in sometimes the plea bargaining is better because in that forcing case, if you prosecute that force and say or sign letters of credit, say or the ambulance by Bank of Ghana betuya, that is that forcing crime. Or the Nico jailer. In that case, what happens? But so you plea bargaining, you know. Na company no supply ambulance big C, you know. So the 1.3 million euros, but ya Jessica.
Eugene, I'm asking you a simple question. Yawo abanti bi a wakuwia aponche. Owia aponche ye che no. And a man for bull no mo gi aponche no. E de no koma Nhyira. Ye de abanti no kugina court so wabebo kro no. E mean a crime. Ya prosecute no. Do ye nya aponche no. Sa de na kotum be 2 years. How different is this? Say ye beji esika. And still go afterwards to deter people from corruption by prosecuting them, continue with the prosecution.
You are citing 2 different examples. One, upon evidence near the bedjans are prosecuting and next day. I'm saying that when they come to organized crime,
but you agree with me?
I'm coming. They are ingredient to prove. If you say rape, there must be penetration. You must prove penetration. So I'm saying that these ingredients, you know, a prosecutor must meet it. When it comes to political crimes, let's go back to 2000. How many political crimes have been prosecuted in this country? NPP did the opposition, you know, say about Chichin Crawford. What you mean? Is what you mean in jail today? It's because when it comes to organized crime, it's a sophistry, a sophisticated crime. That proving anything. So for me, if when it comes to certain crimes, we can get plea bargaining and to force as I'm coming. Say Richard Jakwana to force in jail. What happens? Meanwhile, the company that brought the ambulance says that I can pay. So for me, what is our case number 2 when plea bargaining makes sense? There are different cases. Plea bargaining will not make sense. For example, the Unibank case, right? All these years, the asset of Unibank, 8 years. What has happened to the case? Meanwhile, let's not forget, whilst we are doing this, the state is very in care cost. That Attorney General have to go to court. We have to hire investigators. We have to hire property raters and all that. All these 8 years old. And to be back, no say be a 60-40. I'm not saying that should be for all cases. But I'm saying that depending on the circumstance of the case, you know, for me, a plea bargaining will suffice. No, we have banchana about the end of the day. There's evidence. But you see, that evidence is there. But when you look at, for example, fast stock issues, but NSS. NSS case is starting here, say 500 million. Later, I told you just work another 2 billion. So that's what I'm saying. It's a sophisticated crime. It is a crime, Osano. Yes, and the plea bargain with jail. Era to ACN. The capital bank issue. He pays some of the amount of money. The jail term was reduced. So plea bargaining is not always when it depends on the circumstance of the case.
But discretionary.
And discretion, yes, exactly.
And that's the problem.
No, you see, by a judge also giving a judgment is also discretionary. Guided by a law. The plea bargain is also guided by a law because when I agree with Akokwa, Benadu is the judge, must agree to that plea bargaining. You get it. So for me, it's also part of our just that why I get a Akokwa that it shouldn't be abused. And you see, there are pros and cons to everything. Someone wants to say that maybe we are 100, be 80 crime and 20. So there are pros and cons. But when it comes to certain, especially political crimes now, the way and a doctor's into the OSP arguments, and you see, the reason why arguments are about the OSP, that's why I stand. The hope of the OSP was that when you go to the Constitution, the only body that prosecutes a crime is the Attorney General. When you read Article 88, I've done into the plea bargaining for you. Let's read Article 88. Or say, there shall be an Attorney General of Ghana who shall be a Minister of State and principal legal advisor to the government. The Attorney General shall discharge such other duties of legal nature as may be referred or assigned to him by the President or imposed on him by the Constitution or any other law. The Attorney General shall be responsible for the initiation and conduct of all prosecutions of criminal offences. Yoko ain't been prosecuted crime. FIC ain't been prosecuted crime. Police ain't been prosecuted crime. Only the Attorney General. Now, what kind of OSP? The OSP can prosecute crime. Yeah. And the OSP, to me or one, they've derived the mandate from the office of the Attorney General under Article 88. The law to establish the OSP in 2018 came from the Attorney General's office. Now, you see, Akokwa, the NDC should be careful.
Yeah.
The reason I'm saying this, you should be careful is that near Kosun, it reminds me of the LGBTQI bill. Okay, and I'm just over call. Let me draw the scenarios for you. Okay, some of pass the bill. President Kufuor couldn't sign. MBA issue. In fact, most Christians got angry with the MPP because of that.
Yeah.
And I'm very surprised what is happening. Why am I surprised? Let me do it this way for you. President Mahama Emia Asia Peace Council no audio no ba anopa. Or see obi o kase OSP office bi aye ntwam na premature.
Yeah.
Then around 4 p.m. The majority leader and the chief whip. Majority leader by convention is part of cabinet.
Yeah.
At the bill a call say repeal special private bill through a private members will say scrappy OSP office no. Yeah. The first question when I saw the statement was that did Mahama Yaga attend cabinet? Did he run Adiana Walker by the president? 2 questions in one. Ebia President Mahama and Kokan or cabinet that's in your kind of National Peace Council Omushiano. But Uti what do you know boy na? But Panini and Nadja over scrappy office no. It is a majority leader. The leader of the parliamentary business of the government.
Only the
private members bill. Now bill no conflicted with the intentions and the view of the president now. Are they communicating? Obeya bill no kobo papa manese papa say na me ne dafia ma popeti ye. That is the first question for me.
Yeah.
Akokwa he Attorney General office na over 140 years old. So nim sa. FIC about 17 years. Police CID over 50 years.
Yeah.
Charge over 30 years. Medwin say akokwa na de biam camp politics na. Yeah, the time when sometimes say me mpa kokwa sa akokwa ke bi me time ni over na say hunu kra so. Yan hwasam na akokwa aka ne no. But the time or time akokwa be derive say akwa sam akokwa be ka bi anye. I don't work like that.
Prejudice never.
Prejudice. Akwa. Let's separate the occupant of the office from the office. The special
pana ote
no. Yen separate one free office now with Timono. Pakoko asem, but in Shrefem no, different. They are 2 separate entities. In Shrefem as an entity, a Kokwa as a morning show host. Separate the issues. I have my issues with the OSP. One, to say on public utterance in maybe on me
said you must be Kasawa Bontin.
Kokwa etraso.
Okay.
Again. Kenoforia tansem no me hye OSP ne nyema bi o ya entasomu ma me personally
e what dey him
o hye say explanation on Attorney General be ka say docket na che to say ade obegina so de akofa Kenoforia taba Ghana no ache response na OSP de ba na kokwa wa na tasomu so mo hwehwe laptop bi mu SM phone nyema bi entasomu ma me but akokwe office na di 7 years pe 7 years.
Yeah.
About 2018 or 2025. Imagine the scenario the private members will succeed in parliament. Economy pass here with the over 2/3 majority of the NDC MPs. What happens to President Mahama Samokan? I done truthful. One sign swa ebeya battles on the neck. Muko chema it will be seen as a macronfo. And in your editorial, that was perfect. Because politics is not just about the substance.
Yeah.
It's about the optics.
Yeah.
Abayaba, less than 1 year, you will be tried office of special prosecutor. And Mr. David, Akokwa, only surprising. When that bill was being passed, these 2 lawyers and NDC MPs were in parliament. I wish a bit more ready hands at them. And
they were all there.
So you can say petition na kono o support ye rekiseja bi no number. After all, easy boss. There's one more number. There's a sound. Yan cancel OSP office no. And I cancel EC office no. Yes, a son nipa no da no and the deputies meboa. Enti no you bet me as a son nipa no da de na no na office no. And you see, when you look at the thinking of President Kufani MPP, OSP office now, it's not an entirely bad thing. Actually, President Mama said it. You see, it's the only officer that has the cajons. Yeah. Say what's said to me now, it me go after politically exposed persons. And then see,
yeah.
Okay, articulate it now. It will be extremely difficult for any Attorney General to prosecute his colleagues.
Oh yeah, a bad thing.
A bad thing.
So we're binding. Attorney General no
ba cabinet minister
no ya ban lawyer penny eti aban no mo wa ban mu nyina edi bone a eti you see the challenge Godfrey Dame was having.
Yes.
Adia na ha Godfrey Dame no.
Yes. So
because wo no mo na wa ban.
Yes.
Eti no wa wo hwe wonu a wo ne wo party ba ko na nyame ayan adom na mu nyina mu anya appointment. Na wakodi bone kakra na yesi wo na mra ne nyina ekura fa ne court ko ye ne se ya.
Wo na ekura slot to be kura ba kura ba na akopa bi ankoma constitution.
Eti bi kura de what I wished was that enkamra no kura betimi a specify say obi anke be appointing as OSP no. Enka oyobi a ye hwe ne chi a yenhu se one party A and party B kura edi agro pen ana aben pen
akokwa me no
ana say two say ye be pe obi aye special prosecutor na enye someone from Abia the opposition party na ba bia eni ayibia
so that mama clear example
there problem.
Justice Eugene Kolendi upon a veteran as a justice of the Supreme Court on busa a question only akufa do eduma just koli but all the NDC lawyers and the panel members testified to his integrity and his competence, and they all approved him. You see, your society in a communal. Okay. You a communal. Obi any mobile. Now says what you have no marking. Need you overcome by justice Bafuboni. On any train one number 1 a.m. After enough year for a massa, now my colonel nomedy. Not justice Bafuboni Jifun, and then that's a trebby. Ma wanka wo twa bi nyame anam de ahye
and the one and the ahye
but akokwa den na kire e kire that our society is communal obi afiri bebe wo ya bebe amifiri anka me MPP ni some ya chini me be free charge ma se me ma me free achimasuom kwa bibrem ye to abakwa MPP but wo hwe me journalism style you may agree with me on some days I sound MPP because MPP are sound kan nyansa wo you may also agree on some days I sound NDC because NDC are sound kan nyansa wo so how you see me is your business
so Ghana first
but you see Ghana first. It is about the work I'm doing. As some make Ghana sanity.
Yeah.
Me say 2 + 2 here 4. Is a 4 na. And I'm a say that say 4 na me transfer. So that should be it. And again, social prosecutor no omunim sentin na in the security of 10 and 7 years. You go through a certain process. The chief justice must come in. It's almost the same thing as Article 146 but it is specified in their act. The NDC MPs should tread cautiously. President Mahama because in fact, if they consulted the same day, President Mahama kasano pa. Bill na leaky say yenko repeal ade no so by awia. So the question is, did the majority leader who signed the private members will confer with the president? Because of confer president, president man bet na den say ade na premature nti fa yetin ko hyem. LGBT say no dey akufo de tiko hyem e be ya abatros on the neck no. So mama yaga he should be careful. Right. Again, akokwa, let's separate the issues.
Okay.
They will beat me by my channel bekan couple I don't much as penasem. Who are you to tell me say me biasem? That is your business.
Obin so penasem.
Okay. So let's separate your hate for individuals from what they are saying. Asam na wo kanon pakokwa asem. Odin so yen dizu so yen pipi ni ba asam na wo kanon. O Karina. Does it make sense? It is a Kisinian penasema. You many lawyers are over 18 years at the bar, over 12 years at the bar, over 10 years at the bar. Or more criminal prosecution wait under them. Because Agokwa say Kazi Bibi Yenchamudia Attorney General Office in the last 10 years. How many cases were prosecuted? How many Sikan were cover my
Nana Kwejo Jantwa. The petition.
Another agency kura akoko eba na financial intelligence FIC.
FIC.
Almost 17 years.
Exactly. What are they doing?
You see, that is why I always say that Ghana is an emotive state. As some of the emotions, because send this kama kokwa banka her phones ni ade.
I'll be failing.
Yes, we'll be a transfer here to say BBNC. How couldn't the system check these things? State agencies will now hold. Bank of Ghana, Yetiana, a bank's gui. The borders report, then a name. And never could you statement crowd bank here. Banks in you catch yourself paper back a 9 cities. 9 cities. They do 9 cities. Paper back. Banks ya a gui. In any serious country, the Bank of Ghana, ki proper forensic audit, but directors and one no meduma. Banks in the also be a good Bank of Ghana. So they should be careful. They should be careful.
Right.
Corruption, the optics is key. International Transparency International, corruption relating there's some saying corruption perception.
You won't put
perception. Obu one the corruption say am nya kokwa na tia wo ba ko canteen wa kua afia ho 40 o ba ba mu sesi a wo mi hia o golden bean ni nkodidi ya wona akokwa corrupt ono ne perception no e dia say dey no akokwa atikoko bi na kura se no dis kana se onim
so onim se mi ni
obu na corruption perception ne se oba akokwa fie na yere serve nkwan amane ne sam obi na gufufu so kwa nsusu a na mudi akokwa ba ya kim prekontwere e wona akokwa correct and obiane ne perception dey ka say corruption perception it is how people perceive
the corruption.
It is not a reality. So they need to tread cautiously.
Yeah.
And again, this is also a tacit admission of Adi Amaka say there is some complacency setting in the NDC. How can you have such a bill and not run it with the president? And again, Akokwa, and I'm a TMP for Menshia South. Can an office established by an act of parliament be repealed by a private member's bill? Procedurally, minimum so on lawyer da kobekasa or ansama me there. Procedurally, can an office established by an act of parliament be repealed through a private member's bill? One area we be some me be me dem yes some friend lawyer ba ho da na yere ho ntimi amfa ti lawyer ba no abusa na mama say ja mo amawade de mo kroma mo na mo enjoy say what the guy say
e bi nware nzo mo enjoy chen Eugene say to the fact checker. Yeah, that's it. Right in show 104.5.